I defy the armies of Israel this day. Send me a man that we may fight together.
You come against me with a sword, a spear, and a javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty.
Can you hear the breeze as it whispers through the trees? Even the moon has become still tonight because it knows another story is about to be told. Come, sit close to the fire, open your ears, and more importantly, open your heart. Tonight, I will tell you the story of a young shepherd boy. A boy everyone overlooked, yet the very one God chose to defeat a giant that terrified an entire nation. Long ago, in the land of Israel, God's people were once again at war. Across a wide valley stood the mighty Philistine army. On the opposite hill stood the Israelites, led by King Saul. Every morning, soldiers polished their swords.
I defy the ranks of Israel.
They prepared
Choose your
themselves
champion.
for battle.
Let him come down to
Each
me.
day, from among the Philistine soldiers, a
I
giant
defy the
stepped
ranks
forward.
of Israel.
His
Choose a
name
man
was Goliath.
and let him come down to me.
Ah, my child, when people first saw him, their courage melted away. He stood over 9 feet tall. His bronze helmet glittered beneath the morning sun. Heavy armor covered his body. His legs were wrapped in bronze. A huge spear rested in his hand. Even the iron point of that spear weighed more than many soldiers' entire weapons. He stood proudly in the middle of the valley. Then he shouted,
I defy
"Why
the
should
ranks of
thousands
Israel.
of men die
Choose a
today?
man and let him
Choose
come down to
one
me.
man to fight me.
If he defeats me, we will serve Israel. But if I defeat him," he smiled proudly, "you shall become our servants." His voice echoed across the hills. Silence answered him. Not one soldier moved. Not one warrior stepped forward. Even King Saul, the tallest man in Israel, remained still. Sometimes fear can make even the strongest person forget how powerful God is. The next morning, Goliath returned. Again, he mocked Israel. Again, no one answered. Morning after morning, evening after evening, for 40 long days, the giant returned. His laughter grew louder. The soldiers grew quieter. Hope slowly disappeared from the camp of Israel. Far away from the battlefield, in the little town of Bethlehem, lived a young shepherd named David. David was the youngest son of a man named Jesse. While his older brothers fought in the army, David cared for sheep. Every morning he led them to green pastures. Every evening he brought them safely home. He played beautiful songs on his harp. He sang praises to God beneath the open sky. He trusted the Lord with all his heart. One day, a fierce lion sprang from the bushes and carried away one of the lambs. Most shepherds would have run, but David did not. He chased after the lion. The Lord gave him strength. He rescued the lamb. On another day, a bear attacked the flock. Again, God protected David. The sheep were safe, and David learned something.
The Lord will deliver
Listen carefully, my child. God often prepares us for tomorrow's battles by helping us overcome yesterday's struggles. One morning, Jesse called David. "My son, take these loaves of bread, roasted grain and cheese to your brothers. They have been at the battlefield for many days. Find out how they are doing.
David smiled. I will go at once. Before the sun had fully risen, David left the sheep with another shepherd, packed the food, and began the long journey. Hours later, he arrived at the Israelites' camp. Just as he greeted his brothers, a familiar voice thundered across the valley.
Defy the ranks of Israel this day!
Again, the
Choose a
giant
man
mocked Israel.
and let him come down to me.
Again, the soldiers trembled. Some stepped backward, others lowered their heads. David looked around in surprise. He asked, "Who is this man who dares to insult the armies of the living God?" One soldier answered, "That is Goliath. He has challenged us for 40 days. The king has promised great riches to whoever defeats him, but no one dares to fight." David looked once more toward the giant. Then he quietly asked, "Why is everyone afraid of a man who speaks against God?" His older brother Eliab heard him. Immediately, he became angry. "What are you doing here? Who is looking after those few sheep? You only came to watch the battle." David answered gently, "What have I done now? I was only asking a question." He turned away and continued speaking with the soldiers. Soon, word spread throughout the camp. "There is a shepherd boy who believes someone should fight Goliath." The news reached King Saul. "Bring him to me," the king commanded. David stood before the king. Saul looked at him carefully. No armor, no sword, no shield, only a shepherd's staff, a sling, and peaceful eyes filled with confidence. Saul sighed. "My son, you are only a boy. Goliath has been a warrior since his youth. You cannot fight him." David smiled respectfully. "My king, when I cared for my father's sheep, a lion came. The Lord helped me defeat it. Another time, a bear attacked. The Lord rescued me again." He looked directly
The
at
Lord
Saul.
will deliver me.
"The same God who delivered me from the lion and the bear will
Let no
deliver
man's
me
heart
from
fail
this
because of him."
Philistine." The king stared at the young
Thou art not
shepherd.
able to fight against this
He saw
Philistine.
no fear, only faith. Finally, he nodded.
"Go, and may the Lord be with you." Saul ordered his royal armor. They placed the heavy bronze helmet upon David's head. They fastened the armor around him. They handed him the king's sword. David took a few careful steps. Then he stopped. He smiled politely. "I cannot fight wearing these. I have never used them." He removed every piece of armor. Instead, he carried only his shepherd's staff. He walked down to a nearby stream. There, he knelt beside the flowing water. One by one, he carefully chose 5 smooth stones and placed them inside his shepherd's pouch. Then, holding only his sling, David walked toward the giant. The battlefield became silent. Even the wind seemed to stop. Goliath looked down at the young shepherd, then burst into laughter. Am I a dog
that you come at
he
me with
mocked,
sticks?
"That you come to me with sticks?"
Come here.
The Philistine soldiers laughed with him. Goliath shouted, "Come here! I will
Come here,
feed
and
your
I will give
body
your
to the
flesh to the
birds and the
birds."
wild animals." But David did not stop walking. Instead, he answered boldly, You come against me
You
with
come
a
against
sword,
me with a
a
sword,
spear,
a spear,
and a
and a javelin.
but I
But
come
I come
against you
against
in the
you in the
name
name
of
of
the
the Lord
Lord
Almighty,
Almighty,
the
the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have mocked. Today, the Lord will hand you over to me, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. He paused, then declared, "For the battle belongs to the Lord." Ha! Those were not the words of a proud boy. They were the words of someone who knew exactly where his strength came from. Suddenly, Goliath began running toward David, but David ran toward the giant. Quickly, he reached into his pouch. He took out one smooth stone. He placed it into his sling. Round and round and round, the sling spun above his head. Then, whoosh! The stone flew through the air with astonishing speed, straight toward the giant. Before Goliath could lift his shield, the stone struck him squarely on the forehead. The mighty warrior staggered. His spear slipped from his hand. His knees gave way. Then, with a thunderous crash, the giant fell face first onto the ground. Silence. Complete silence. No one could believe what they had just seen. David ran forward. He stood over the fallen giant. Using Goliath's own sword, he completed the victory. The Philistine army stared in terror. Their champion, the man they believed could never lose, had fallen. Fear filled their hearts. They turned and ran. The Israelites shouted with joy. They chased the Philistines across the valley and won a great victory that day. From that day forward, people remembered David, not because he was the strongest, not because he wore the finest armor, not because he carried the biggest weapon, but because he trusted completely in the living God. So hear this, my child, and never forget it. Every one of us will face giants. Some giants are fear, some are sickness, some are failure, some are disappointments that seem too heavy to carry. When those giants stand before you, do not ask, "How big is my problem?" Instead, ask, "How great is my God?" Because the God who gave David victory has never stopped being powerful. Faith does not mean you never feel afraid. Faith means you trust God enough to keep moving forward, even when fear is standing right in front of you. If this story blessed your heart, please like this video, leave a comment, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that no giant is bigger than God. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, Beautiful Folktales, where we tell African stories filled with wisdom and meaning. New stories come every Sunday by 8 p.m. Until next time, stay wise and stay kind. Odabo.